All right, good Monday afternoon. It is 3:30 in the afternoon, 3:20. Yeah, 3:30. We're getting ready to head back down to Tunkhannock, unfortunately. I was trying to do another Amazon run, which I probably will do later this week. I just needed to get out today and go make some more money. So we're going down to Tunkhannock, and then we're going to stop off in Binghamton and pick up some fuel. I'm just under half a tank right now, so well, I should say I'm either going to pick up some fuel today, or well, I'm picking up fuel today. That's regardless. But I'm either going to get the fuel in Binghamton. We'll see how I look when I get down there, or I'm going to stop off in Connecticut. I'll check the fuel prices here shortly. I haven't checked the fuel prices yet. Brakes are so touchy when it's cold. Anyway, we're going down to Tunkhannock, pick up a load down there, then we're heading over to, I forget the name of the town. It's over there by Boston. We're doing BJ's. It's got to deliver 10:30 tomorrow morning. I'm going to try to push through. I am going to push through, get there tonight, which is going to be quite a ways. Let's see, we have blah, 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 blah. Chopin, Elizabeth, PG Way. Again, I believe it's 180 miles down there from here. So that turbo spool up a little bit. I don't remember having the shot of cold air blowing up the nose. My hood was jiggling pretty good, and I don't remember not locking it. I didn't even open the hood this morning, so and I'm pretty sure I haven't touched it all weekend. She gave me a little bit of a hard time starting up this morning, that's for sure. But she fired up on her own. I gotta get these batteries changed soon. I have to. Really soon, got to get them done. I mean, they're good once it's running. So either, man, it's a toss-up. Either these batteries are going dead, which I think I'm just going to throw a gauge on and test them, or a tester on them. And if the tester comes back where the batteries are still showing fine, they're still able to just leave it at that. If the tester comes back showing that they're fine, I think I'm going to get the wires. I'm going to change out the wires going from the batteries to the starter. And I think those might be getting a little over corroded and making it harder for it to start. So we might be doing that job coming up here. I hope not. I sure as heck don't want to get underneath this truck anymore during this winter time. But that might end up being the thing that we need to do. Possibly just, if I have enough wire under there, just stripping the wire, cutting it back a little bit, and then putting a new grommet, whatever the heck you want to call that, battery lug, whatever the heck it is that's on the end of the cable going to the starter. I know the starter's only about 2.5, well, it's about 3 years old too. I also had that changed when I was at Schneider. So we're now we're down to 162 miles, so about 107
in a half mile,
miles
turn
from my
left on
house
CR4.
Is P&G. And then we're going up to, like I said, Boston. I think it's the one up off of 93, where that last video I did going up to Boston, where I went through the tunnels and stuff. I believe that's the same location. Let me take a look here in a second. All right, this one's going to Medford, Mass. And then I'll go straight back to Tunkhannock. Pretty much, it's a complete turnaround. So I have to run straight back to Tunkhannock, drop my empty, pick up my next loaded, and then run back up to Stoneham, which is north of Boston. Stoneham is actually the first location that I went to when I first started doing my authority. Not fantastic rates, but they're not bad. One's $12.50, the other one's $12.60, and I probably could have got $1,300 for it, maybe a little bit more, but I just didn't want to. I brought it down just a little bit, so it's about $1.90, $1.91 a mile round trip for both loads. But it gets me up around $2,500 for the start of the week. You know what I mean? By Wednesday evening, I'm sitting at $2,500. So within 2 days, not fantastic. I mean, I did what I do with Amazon. Amazon was to Boston, basically Boston, south of Boston from Buffalo, and back. 900 miles round trip, and for $2,500, which still cost me about 2 days. This isn't as good as that. This is 1,200 miles, making about the same amount of money. So about 300 miles further. It's actually $650, yeah, about $650 each load. So
in
that's
1.5 miles,
12,
turn
13,
right on US 11.
1,300 miles.
Speed limit reduced ahead.
$2,500. $2,510. We did $1,250 and $1,260.
Speed warning.
Yep. Shut her up. Which by no means is great, but I have to add into that, my return trip is loadable, where Amazon, they paid me both ways. Convoy doesn't really pay me both ways. They mostly pay me decent one way and then give me a little something going the other way to bring the trailer back. But I have the capability of reloading that trailer. And that's where I kind of cut myself short, but at the same time, I'm not, because I'm staying running. What I could do is pick up a load, and the Northeast is the hardest part of it, because trying to get a load out of the Northeast, just running down to Pennsylvania, it's not very easy to get that load. But I have the ability to do that. So what that would include is me booking a load today to go pick up and deliver in Tunkhannock, and then trying to find a load to bring me back, so that I have no empty miles, so that I'm running something every way. But the problem is it slows me down, and that's hoping that I get a decent run for that day. And $1.91 all miles isn't bad at all. So I could be making more staying on the Amazon, but I'm doing good on this. This is the nice part about Convoy, other than that they pay pretty much right away, is the fact that there's all the loads are on the board, where Amazon had all their loads on the board until they started doing the blocks and they started doing the contract stuff. Now all the loads aren't sitting there. The only loads that are sitting there are the ones that aren't being covered by contracts, or drivers have broken down and they need a truck to recover, stuff like that. And I just can't. It's nice if my truck is sitting up somewhere and I need something at the moment that they need somebody to cover it. It's great, but until I get on those blocks, it's not really doing me any good. And at the same time, those blocks have to pay good. They got to pay at least $1.90 a mile, and they have to pay me for the day. I mean, if I can stay making around $1,100-$1,200 a day, I'll be happy on those blocks. This is where I think I'm going to end up getting a trailer and going that route. And who knows? By next year, the middle of next year, I could be looking at going to get another step back or flatbed. The only reason I'm not on that, and I have multiple people keep asking me, I have plenty of videos saying, where I've been, where I've gone, and how I've gotten there. Asking me what happened to running flatbed, open deck, and stuff like that. If you're not willing to go back and look at the videos, then I'm not going to sit here and waste all my time to tell you what I have already recorded. I mean, the titles alone will tell you, that I'm leaving Mercer or getting my own authority or whatever, but that's beside the point. So right now, I'm just trying to make whatever I can make. I want to get down towards Christmas Eve, and then I'm done for the rest of the year. I just got to get the truck payments paid up. I got to get the mortgage paid up for this month and for next month. And then I can pretty much take off, enjoy the rest of the time with the family. I'm actually getting out of the house late today because I had to work on the furnace. All my burners were all clogged up, so I had to get them all cleaned up. And then I ended up breaking the igniter on the furnace. So now they got to hand light it for the rest of the night, and then run kerosenes for overnight, and then put a new igniter in tomorrow without me. But I need to take care of stuff like that through the winter, and I plan on getting a plow truck to make some money on the side. So there's a little scope into the future for me. But for right now, we're looking at getting down there about 6:30 and possibly stopping to grab some fuel, because we are looking pretty low. And luckily we have some fuel, have some money on the fuel card, so that's a plus. So that's it. We'll talk to you guys shortly. Well, that made for an interesting day. Of course, it had to happen right after I left the house. Left the house late at that point. I'm freaking freezing my butt off now. Try to turn this dial a little bit, man. My hands are freaking frozen. So that was the first DOT inspection that we got. New York State. She could have put me out of service. Very, very sweet woman. Because I wasn't hooked to a trailer, she had no reason to put me out of service. I'll show you guys in a little bit after we get stopped if I remember. If I don't remember, then maybe the next video or so if I remember. I'll just tell you guys, there's my airline hoses that come from underneath the truck up to the point where the airlines are attached to hook to the trailer. So the service lines to the using lines, I guess. Probably back from when my airlines got ripped off and got hung up on the drive shaft. It probably happened back then. But the airlines got slightly chafed, so I have to get those replaced very soon. Unfortunately, so I'm gonna have to order up some new airline and get under there and get new lines put in. I've been wanting to redo that whole setup anyway. This is basically just forcing me to do it sooner. Excuse me. So I'll probably have to get into the dealership and see if I can get something figured out, because the setup that's on this truck, I don't want that anymore. It's the airlines come from underneath, they come up out to the middle of the back of the tractor, back of the sleeper, and then it's on like a little pillar on the back of the sleeper, and then the airlines that you actually buy from the store screw in at that point and then go to the trailer. I want it to where those airlines screw in down by the electrical plug on the back, at the bottom of the sleeper. I'll give you a little more of a demonstration of what I mean I'll definitely make sure that I do it when I get hooked up to my trailer. The lines aren't leaking or anything, they just have a little faded chafe mark, so you can see the color discoloration on there. Stupid watch is telling me to stretch. I just got it back in the truck. So anyway, that's it. We're gonna get down to Pennsylvania and get this load picked up. I think yeah, she was really nice, really sweet lady. Freaking freezing. The heck did I want to say? I think we're gonna stop at Binghamton and top off there. I'll probably end up topping off over in Connecticut tomorrow or something, but maybe on my way back down. But I definitely need to top off tonight. I'm definitely gonna get some depth fluid while we're on it. So
speed warning.
I'm gonna pick the speed up a little bit today, just for the simple fact that we need to make up that 38 minutes that we just sat there for. So talk to you soon. All right, good morning. I didn't really get to do much more of my video last night. Unfortunately, I've been up since 8 o'clock. Something like that, about 8 o'clock, just before 8 o'clock. Yeah, about 5 minutes to 8. My feet were freezing. I didn't even get dressed for bed last night. I pulled my sweater off, I closed the curtain, turned the heater on, lay down, threw the blanket over my chest, and that was pretty much it. I was wiped out last night. We got here about 1:30, or just after 1:30. Had a little hiccup last night, nothing huge. We got here at 1:24 this morning. Last night I was coming up, let's see, I took 84 to 691 to 91, which was supposed to go back to 84. And that was just to avoid the little bit of city in Hartford, I think it is. Just before I got to 84, they had construction and it was all blocked up with traffic, and so I ended up taking, I think it was Route 3 to Route 2 to back to over to 84 or something like that. Well, the exits got a little confusing and I just missed the exit to go on 84. So I ended up in this little town, had to go around the block to get back on there and then jump back on 84. So it slowed me down by about 5 minutes. That wasn't too bad. And then the next slowdown was actually in Boston. They actually have a section of 90 shut down where they detour you off of the highway and you end up running through the Boston streets, which was a little hectic. I wish I threw it on the video, but I was so tired last night, and my thought process wasn't even on video. So unfortunately, I didn't catch that, but we ended up going down through the city. I'm pretty sure that was Boston where we went through. To get to 93 North, I had to go, and this is where it got real skeptical, was hit 93 North at this one spot. The bridge sign said 13.9. Got an eyelash loose. Must have knocked it off. But the sign said 13.9. So I was like, in my head, because I'm so tired, so I'm sitting there playing it over and over and over again in my head, trying to make sure, all right, you're 13.6, that's less than 13.9 type deal. But I know it, and I know I'm good, but I'm still saying it over and over and over again, just constantly repeating it to myself, just to make sure that I'm not screwing anything up. So I start heading down in the tunnel, and I'm like watching the ceiling, and man, it's I'm pretty sure they were right on the money for the height, because I mean they had chains and everything, so if you hit them chains, it was probably going to start flashing lights and stuff. But we ended up jumping on that tunnel, brought us up through 93 North, and the problem with that tunnel is the GPS gets knocked out, and then they have exits in the tunnels, so if you didn't pay attention beforehand and before it starts recalculating, you're not sure exactly which way you got to go, so you got to just keep following it. And again, I was extremely tired, so I wasn't paying very close attention, but we made out fine. I think we got off the same exit as we did last time we were over here in Boston, when I went to that other spot where the trains were running by me, which is Everett, Mass, and that's like right down the road. I know for a fact that I got off the same exact exit. Instead of making a right-hand turn and then going down making another right-hand turn to go towards the store, I just kept going straight, and it was down on the left-hand side. There's another road right here. We're on the back side of BJ's, and the road that we came in is out front. So I don't know if I'm able to leave using this road or if I got to go back out front, which I'm hoping I can leave out this entrance, because it's a lot of parking lot and stuff out front that I'm going to have to try to get around, plus the very front door of the building where everybody's coming in and out of. So in other exciting news, I finally went and bought a Keurig for the truck, and I have nice hot coffee this morning. No Dunkin' Donuts, which means I'm not tempted by any donuts or breakfast sandwiches this morning. So that is 100% a plus. I'll show you guys the Keurig real quick. Well, I'll show you guys the box. I'm not gonna, it's too dark in the area where the Keurig actually is, but that's the one that I have. It's actually the same exact one that I have at the house. Works really well. We love it. I was a little nervous about using it in the truck, but like I say to everybody, as long as it's within the wattage of your inverter, And as long as you run your truck while using it, it'll work fine. When it comes to coffee pots and stuff like that, if anybody's interested, I've actually used to use a regular coffee pot, and back when I was doing it, I actually said something about it in the videos, I believe. I don't even remember what company it was, maybe TMC. But I tried buying like those really nice coffee pots with the timer and everything on it, so that you could set when they went off, and so basically the coffee could be making in the morning while you're waking up. Those things do not work whatsoever, and they'll work if you have the truck running and stuff, but if you accidentally in the tired morning mood, start moving around and start trying to start the coffee pot before starting the truck or something along them lines, and you fire that truck up after you've already hit the on button. No, excuse me, that didn't even have anything to do with it. If I plugged it in before starting the truck, it fried the motherboard. So when it came to coffee pots, regular coffee pots, I had to buy the no functions coffee pot. It was strictly on and off. That's all the coffee pot could do. It was the cheapest style coffee pot there was, like $10. So all you could do is put the water in, you turn it on and turn it off. So it would do the water. That was it. No times, no nothing like that. This thing seems to be working really good. It's kind of the same thing. There's no timers or anything on it. It's just on and off. So I don't think we're going to have any issues with it. Other than me having a lot of good coffee fresh in the morning. So anyway, there's that. I'm going to go out and show you guys them airlines real quick, and then we're going to call it quits on this video. And yeah, hold on. Alright, so here's my airlines. Now this section here I've been planning on replacing for a while. You could see where it was ripped out of the back wall there. The other side's still holding on strong, so I haven't bothered with it. But I've been wanting to move this down to here, and you can see where they actually bent it up. And I'd like to see if I can bend this back down and use that for where my airlines are connected. At which point I will be able to cut the airline somewhere here and get rid of that. Now this line here is actually pretty messed up. It's actually got a chunk grooved right out of it. And then this right here, you can see where it's faded. And that's what she was pointing out to me yesterday. I honestly did not realize that. Otherwise I would have had it fixed over the summertime. But I'm quite positive that was caused by back when I had the Conestoga on and I made the turn into Walmart. The front of the Conestoga knocked the airlines off of that giant headache rack that I had, and the three lines, the electrical and the two airlines, got tangled up in the drive shaft, and that's what caused that ripping out of the wall and all that. So I have to get that replaced really soon. I just got to figure out how I'm going to do it. I should be able to move the fittings that are in that metal piece, that triangle metal piece that ripped off the wall. I should be able to undo that and then possibly cut the airline and then re-splice it into that. If I can't re-splice it into it, I might have to buy new fittings, but I should be able to put them into the other little metal piece after heating it up and bending it down. And then I can have my airlines screwed in right at that point. And then I can get rid of that bracket off the back. Maybe grab some JB Weld or something and fill them holes in. I did buy a nut rivet gun so that I can put new nut rivets on the back of the sleeper if I need to add another unit, another bracket for airlines if that one fails out. So I also got it so that I can put up stuff like I can put up a new AC condenser for the APU unit. I can hang that in a different location than where it was before. So, and it's just nice to have another tool. Alright, anyway, that's it for this video. I probably won't be doing anything for the next load, just for the simple fact that I'm leaving here, going straight back to Tunkhannock, coming back up here, doing the same exact thing. Not to the same store, but it's pretty much the same thing. I'm going to that one store that I first did when I started doing my authority, which is Stoneham, and where I'll be parking on the street, right there by the docks. The car dealership is right up the road. When I woke up in the morning, I had cars in front of me and cars behind me. So it's nothing new. There's nothing to shoot the video for. So unless something else comes up that's different, which I'm planning on going to get my buddy's computer for the truck so we can dive into some functions of the truck, mainly my cruise control. So maybe we'll do a video of that. So until then, thanks for watching, guys. Stay safe, and we'll see you when we see you.